What if I told you Las Vegas now has 70% more homes for sale than this time last year, and buyers still aren't biting like they did before? The median price for a single family home in Las Vegas right now is $485,000 for this past June, creeping up just 2.1% from last year. I'm Realtor Ryan Rose, and this is your June 2025 Las Vegas housing market update backed by official data from the Las Vegas Realtors Association. Stick around and I'll show you what all this means if you're looking or planning to buy, sell, or just trying to make sense of this market. You want more info? I've linked a full breakdown and full free home evaluation in the description. Check out all my free stuff I got down there. So let's start with the big picture numbers. So in June, 1,946 single family homes sold, which is down 7% from last year, as you can see right there. Which is down 7% from last year. On the flip side, there's 3,252 new listings that hit the market, which is up over 15%. But the real kicker, we now have 6,992 homes sitting on the market with no offers. That's a 70% spike in available inventory compared to June of 2024. You want the translation? Well, I mean, the buyers have options and sellers, they have a lot of competition everywhere out there right now. Let's go to the next page. The median sold price is $485,000. Up slightly from both last month and last year, around that $480,000, but sellers are still aiming high, and the median price for new listings is like $519,900. So homes are being listed higher than they're actually selling for. That's a sign of optimism or possibly denial. Meanwhile, the average sold price climbed 5.3% year over year, hitting $636,617, as you can see right there, showing that luxury homes are still moving and they are pushing the average price sold up a lot more than typical. If we scroll down, we'll go down page 4 here. Again, this should be in the description below. So if you want to follow along on your own screen, you can download it down there in the description. So let's zoom out a little bit. So the trend line shows prices continuing a slow upward march, even with sales volume dipping. So closings are down 7% year over year, and we're also down from May. So it's still going down. This is a classic summer slowdown pattern, but with way more homes available than usual. While prices are technically up, momentum is starting to shift toward buyers. And if you've been following any of my other social media pages, you will see I'm talking about that a lot right now. Buyers have options. You can ask for a lot that you really couldn't in years past. And sellers, it would behoove them to try and compete with the new construction that's out there. Yes, it's going to be difficult to help buyers that are interested in your resale home with a 6% interest rate versus a new construction, brand new, no one's lived there for 3.5. That's happening right now. If the resale by the seller, okay, if a buyer comes in and really likes the house, offer them incentives exactly like a new construction community does. That's really the only way that you can compete when it comes to the price. You got to help them out with their interest rate, whether that's a 2-for-1 buy down or if that is helping them with closing costs. Something has to happen in order for you to get the price that you're looking for. And again, that might mess with your net at the end of the day. You know, unfortunately, right now, if you need to sell, it is what it is. Let's skip down to page 6 because I wanted to talk about the month's availability right here. But first, here's a stat that really paints a pretty good picture. So only 61.4% of homes sold in under 30 days. So that's compared to 71.6% this time last year. That's a clear signal the market is cooling down for sellers. We're now at 3.6 months of effective inventory, which is up nearly 83% from last year. That's not quite a buyer's market yet, but we're headed in that direction. Typically what happens is a buyer's, and I've been talking about this the last two monthly updates that I did ever since April. So this is the third one. Typical buyer's market is 4 to 6 months of inventory. Right now we're at 3.6. At 2.9, it was starting to feel like a buyer's market, but it wasn't yet. Then last month update that I did, it was, I believe, 3.2, if I'm not mistaken. And that's when I started seeing it everywhere. This is a buyer's market right now. This is getting insane. There's a couple pockets. There's a couple pockets here in Vegas that are selling immediately if you price it correctly. Absolutely. But there were a lot of others that even if you priced it correctly, it wasn't moving. Sky Canyon is a really good example of that. So now this month, it went up even more. So it up 12.8% versus the prior month to 3.6. Sellers still think that it is a seller's market. They still think it's 2021 or 2022. And if you are a seller and you are seriously thinking that you need to sell your home, or you're a prospective seller and you need to sell your home, let's talk. Because if you want a real, no bullshit answer, you're going to get one from me. And I'm going to be a little bit more blunt, a little bit more honest than most. So if you really want to know how much your home is going to be sold for and how much we should list it for, link in the description, or you can go to rosehomeslv.com/sell, and it'll basically, you'll put all your information in there and I will contact you at a good time for everyone. Let's go back to this. So like I said, we're heading in the buyer's direction. I think we're already there. If this trend does keep up, sellers will have to start adjusting price expectations to stay competitive. It's in the cards. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But I want to go back to page 4-5 real quick. So over the last 7 years, we've seen a sharp rise in prices since 2020 mainly, but the last 18 months have flattened almost completely. Inventory today is more in line with pre-pandemic levels, and with affordability still tight, many buyers are waiting for either prices or, more importantly, interest rates to come down. On page 5 here, so new listings are way up 15.4% higher than June 2024, and inventory has nearly doubled. We're sitting on almost 7,000 homes with no offers, and the average price of those listings is about $898,000. That's high. So if you're a seller, the takeaway is this: you need a real pricing strategy, or you'll end up sitting and chasing the market down. And buyers and good realtors out there can see this, and they will hurt you in the end. They will make sure that you feel it. That's what I would do. And if your realtor is not, if you're a buyer and your realtor is not making, looking at the past of that property and what it's been going through versus where we're going, and they're still not trying to help you with your pricing strategy very much, consult with someone else. Maybe they'll get you what you are looking for. At the end, looking ahead, the trend is clear. Inventory is climbing, homes are sitting longer than they really should, and buyers are gaining a lot of leverage. If mortgage rates dip or they stabilize, we might see another small wave of activity. But if they stay high like it is right now and this inventory keeps building, prices may flatten, or they might even slip by Q3 of 2025. Either way, strategy matters more than ever. That's your June 2025 Las Vegas housing update. If this helped you, share with a friend who's thinking about buying or selling right now, or if they already have their home on the market and it's just not moving, send this to them so they can kind of see why. If you want custom advice on your situation, give me a call or text me at 702-747-5921. You can email me, ryan@rosehomeslv.com. All I want to do is help anyone that wants it. So again, I'm Realtor Ryan Rose. See you next time.